Aha!
Hello.
Success.
Hello,
Right.
hello,
Okay.
hello.
Something went wrong, but it is no longer wrong. Now it is right. I
Hello.
think. Yes. Good.
Um. Yes. Now I can
Okay.
hear
Good.
us.
Good.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Hooray!
I did notice last time the game was a little loud. Watching it back, like it's fine. You could hear us perfectly, but
Okay. It sounds alright at the moment.
Okay,
Kai, if there is any issues. Hello, by the way. We did
Yes.
say hello, but that was when the microphone was off.
yeah, you'll have to trust us on that.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly reiterate actually, because we haven't streamed this in a little while. And since we streamed, I did do some some side quests and stuff off stream, just to make things a little smoother this time. Not much of note happened. We did go to a lighthouse, as I told you earlier.
Yeah, I'm sad to have missed that.
I know you're sorry, because I know how much you like the lighthouses.
I do love a good lighthouse.
I think the only thing of note that happened was the lighthouse keeper was like, "Oh, I remember a bracer from about 7 or 8 years ago. He was really cool," and it was Cassius, basically.
Yeah, right.
Anytime anyone mentions a bracer who is really cool, it's usually Cassius.
My tweets are getting compliments.
Oh. So this is the last of the side quests that we have to do,
Okay.
I think. There's some lad in the military checkpoint who won't leave.
Oh. So you have to go and poke him.
I don't hear anything.
Damn it, what's going on?
Is the Royal Army really going to just roll over for some bigwig?
Yes. Huh? What are they doing?
By the looks of them, I'd say they're just ordinary travellers. However,
However what?
I have to wonder why there is a single guard.
Now that you mention it, maybe something big is going on?
That I do not know. But I think we should ask a guard when we find one.
Sounds good to me. Let's find a guard. Ooh, nice. Waterfalls.
So, has His Grace changed his mind? He is not the sort to do so once he has decided on something. In light of that, I believe he'll be staying here. I see. Then we'll have to wait for the bracers to arrive before we can do anything more. I'm afraid so.
What a surprise.
If that's all, then I shall take my leave. Wish us luck. I'm just going to stare at these waterfalls for a bit.
To be fair, they are very nice waterfalls.
They are good.
Huh? I think I know that guy.
Oh, it's you. You're bracers, aren't you? Thank Adios you're here. The name's Chief Warrant Officer Han. Chief, for short.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Estelle, bracer in training.
And I'm Joshua, also in training. The bulletin board said that a traveller was causing trouble? Yes, I'm afraid so. We do have an unsavoury character, and dealing with him is proving most difficult. Do you think you might be able to help us out?
Yeah, sure, why not?
No!
Sure, why not? Hey!
Thank you, you've been doing us a huge favour. Okay, let me fill you in the details. There's been little progress to speak of.
They're still walking on the spot.
Yep,
So, what's with those guys over there?
they're the victims of this current little issue. The traveller in question is currently in the dining hall.
In the dining hall?
Yes, we're hoping the food will persuade him. For the sake of the others here.
Persuade him? Okay, just who is this troublesome traveller?
Well, to be honest... Hey, whatever this guy's voice was. Hey! You're in charge here, right? You have to do something. Are you just going to let this kind of bullying go unchallenged?
The Royal Army is supposed to be on the side of the citizens, right? If so, then do something about this.
Now hold on, all of you. Calm down, please. I'm sick of being calm. I understand. Just please take a step back.
Joshua, are you okay?
I'm fine. For now, I want you two to check on the dining hall.
Okay, we will. Come on, let's go. All right. Who could it be? Is it No Face? That's his name, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's eating all the food. But sir...
Thank you for taking on Caesar for me.
Yeah. If you reserve all the rooms and the dining hall, what will I tell the other guests? Why can't you see where I'm coming from?
Your Grace, I feel I must agree with him. Perhaps we should return to Rouen as originally planned. Quiet, Philip. I like it here. Particularly since it has such a lovely view of Erletton's waterfall.
Sir... Ugh, it had to be you, didn't it? You're that self-centered Duke guy from before.
Well, if it isn't the bracers. You're late, we've been waiting for you.
Don't tell me. That's your troublesome traveller.
Do you see anyone else here?
It's fine. It's no wonder we recognise the guy who was talking to the chief warrant officer.
The Duke there says he intends to stay here. He insists he has to rent all the rooms, as well as the dining hall.
He really is as selfish gets, isn't he? Oh dear, he is a troublesome fellow.
Royalty or not, what does he expect us to do? Make everyone else go camping? And that's where you come in, hopefully. Can you do something to help? Ideally, convince him to go back to Rouen, or give him a little nudge over the falls.
Ooh. You want me to do it?
Isn't tactical negotiation part of your job? We're just soldiers, you know? We train with guns and swords, and negotiating with a sword can be somewhat messy.
What makes you think I'm any different? I'm good at hitting stuff, not talking. They usually teach that stuff to someone with a knack for it. Joshua's the guy with the silver tongue, not me. But Estelle, we can't just stand by while this is going on.
Please? Even if you can't convince him with words, there's always a staff.
I love how violence heavy he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Ugh, I hate this kind of stuff.
Well, I have faith in you, at least.
Let me give it to you straight. You can have all the faith in the world, but I don't, so don't get your hopes up. I'm sure you'll do fine. Oh, thanks for that. Okay, here goes nothing. Get your ass!
Oh, I remember you.
Hey! Fancy seeing you here. Where you go, trouble follows, huh?
Who are you talking to, Philip?
Okay, gotta start this off right. The second one.
Yes.
Greetings, Your Grace. I'm here to collect you.
Collect me? I don't recall ordering someone to do so. And where did you travel from?
The Mayor's estate. The Mayor's estate. He asked for me to come here.
Ah, I see. That is quite admirable of him. But I have no desire to return to Rouen on this evening. I've already decided to stay here at Erletton.
Okay, double or nothing. Gotta change his mind, but make him feel like it's his idea. At this junky old place. You really intend to stay at this junky old place? I mean, look around. I don't think this place deserves the business of the next king.
You declare things I already know to be true. I never believed this place to be worthy of my presence. It is, however, occasionally interesting to live as the common folk do, briefly. I heard a song about it once.
Well, I get that. But I don't think they even have a high-class chef here. Not to mention, it's not even very sanitary. Grr.
You think so?
I know so.
Yes, now that you bring it to my attention, the place does look a bit on the filthy side. I suppose I simply cannot stay at such a place.
And now for the sales pitch. What is the second one?
I think it's like pointing out, oh no, there's something by your foot.
Oh, I'll say let's get you back to Rouen. Okay, let's get you back to Rouen. If we go now, we should get there while it's still light.
Hmm? What are you talking about? Who's heard anything about returning to Rouen?
Huh? But you just said that you couldn't stay in a place like this.
Merely talk for the sake of propriety. Philip? Yes, sir. You are to arrange for lodging as soon as possible. Notify the hotel in Rouen to deliver the bed as far as the checkpoint. And have them ready their best chef with the best ingredients available.
Huh?
And then have the soldiers set about cleaning the dining hall. Your Grace, perhaps that is going a trifle far. Silence, Philip! As the next king, I will have proper lodging. As is my right, might I add.
Oh, cut the crap already.
I beg your pardon?
I've been all nice and courteous and you still act like a spoiled brat. If you didn't have Philip running around, you'd probably just starve. Estelle?
You insolent whelp! You, soldiers, what do you think you're doing? Hurry up and arrest this brat.
The only one who needs arresting here is you, you big jackass. Estelle, don't. Hi-ya. It's time for some treason.
That much is obviously true. I guess it really doesn't matter. Come, Philip.
Hey.
Let us return to Rouen. Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Thank you so much. And thank you. I am simply glad that the Duke was not hurt in any way. That would be thanks to this young lady here. Her reflexes are remarkable. I'm not certain I would have been able to hold back like that. Philip! What are you doing? If you'll please pardon me. Finally.
He's finally gone. Sometimes you just gotta throw hands.
Or staffs.
Yeah.
Man, this girl is not someone I'd want mad at me. She had that rod of hers aimed full tilt right as his noggin. I so thought she was going to do it. If you could have only seen it. And after all that, it took just one girl to settle it. I see. I have some concerns about resorting to such bombastic methods. But I suppose no real harm was done.
It's like you subdued a criminal close enough. I'm really ashamed of myself.
We're sorry. No. None of this would have happened were it not for the Duke's selfishness.
True.
You did only what you felt was necessary. I do hope that you'll try more diplomatic behaviour in the future, though.
I'll try my best. Thanks for stopping me, Kloe. It's no trouble at all. I don't approve of violence, but the Duke's behaviour was utterly reprehensible.
Perhaps there were other means available, but you did help the other guests. And for that, we are truly grateful.
Thank you. You're welcome. Alright. Hearing you say that makes me feel a little better.
I swear, you can't stay upset for more than 3 seconds. But I guess that's what makes you who you are. Well, thank you again for your help today. May you be equally as determined in your future duties.
Yep, take care.
Well then, if you'll excuse us.
Good quest. We did it.
Everyone needs healing up, so I just...
Blah, blah, blah.
blah blah blah. And so I might just like have a little rest.
Nice.
I'm sure.
We've earned it.
Oh, here we are.
Talking is hard. I think I did a really good job there.
Yeah. I think there were points where I would have chosen a couple of other options, and I would have been wrong. I think.
Oh.
So.
I'm just so instinct with instinct.
You're just
I'm
so instinct.
I'm so instinct with Estelle.
Yeah. This one. Ah, no. That's not what I wanted to do.
Chloe. We have a Chloe.
Oh yeah, you remember that like crab monster that I was having trouble with? Yeah, Kloe destroyed it.
Good.
Just very straightforwardly.
I'm glad to hear it. She's a strong gal.
She really is.
Beat up those emus.
I will. Make them endangered.
No.
Well, that takes care of that.
Ah. A voice.
Yeah, I don't think we've heard her before.
Yeah. To answer one of your questions from earlier, Kai, life is good. Work is taking up a lot of time.
Yes.
Hence why we haven't streamed in like forever. But it's nice to be back for one of our now less frequent streams, I guess.
Yeah. We've been kind of talking about what we're going to do with streams, and while we haven't come to a firm conclusion, I think we will probably be prioritizing this game above the other ones that we're streaming, just because it kind of, if we're going to be streaming one game, this is probably the one that makes most sense. Just insofar as like we're both involved with the streaming more so than anything else.
In terms of the plot of the game, there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on, yeah.
Broadly speaking, Estelle and Joshua are adopted siblings who are training to be bracers, which is kind of like being an adventure in D&D, basically.
Kind of, yeah. A little bit more organized than that. It's not like, it's not quite police or anything. It's more kind of independent sort of detectives or something whose sole sort of raison d'etre is helping civilians.
And but their dad, who's Estelle's biological dad and Joshua's adopted dad, has gone missing. So whilst they're also still training to be bracers, they are kind of looking for him and investigating his disappearance.
Yep.
And they have a friend now called
Yes.
Chloe.
They kind of pick up friends along the way.
So that's basically what's going on.
Yes. Anyway, let's complete this quest.
Yes.
If you find any orbital-powered guns around the Orient Causeway, bring them back to me. I've lost a prototype, and you might run across it there. I'm planning to go back to Zeiss very soon. Please hurry.
Hey, do you think... Is this the prototype gun?
Not really mercenary. It's more altruistic than that. Although they do get paid. Whoa! How? How'd you get your hands on this? A monster near the Sephiral Tower had it. It probably wanted it for the Septium mechanism. In Adios' name, thank you so much. Oh, I don't have the words. I could give you a huge hug and a kiss.
Please don't. Ugh. I'm okay. As am I.
I could go for it. No, but thank you.
Olivier manifests.
Even the manly girl with pigtails turned me down.
Rude.
Is the prototype really that important? Most certainly. It's being actively worked on at the Zeiss Central Lab. It's not ready for public sale and distribution yet.
Whoa, it must be really effective then.
Are you interested in weaponry? I guess that's a stupid question. As bracers, of course you'd be interested in them. Well then, let me give you this quartz as a token of my appreciation.
Oh, thanks.
I'm sure it should come in handy. Ooh, that is good. I'm sorry, but we can't accept something this nice. Oh, please. It's the least I can do. And of course the guild will pay you for your time and effort as well.
In Mira, I hope.
Certainly, you needn't worry. Right from the central lab's coffers to your ones.
I just meant instead of hugs and kisses.
It's quite alright. You should simply accept your reward at times like these. Again, thank you for what you've done today. I'm sure you'll hear from me again should anything else come up.
No hugs and kisses, please, sir. Just getting some yarn, don't mind me. Oh, my jester hat's jingling.
Oh no.
Ask not for whom the hat jingles.
I think when I checked before the stream, I couldn't open any more slots, but I'll have a look.
Oh no, I love opening slots.
Unfortunately, we're running out of slots to... Oh,
That's just because you've done such a good job, but that's what we were told to do.
yeah.
So
Joshua's
okay.
the only one who has any slots yet to be opened. Oh no, can't open his last slot yet. Alright, time to hand in a bunch of quests.
Gotta keep a few slots in reserve. Oh yeah, wow.
Much obliged. You'll be able to have achieved your goal without injury. If you complete any other jobs, be sure to give me all the juicy details.
Ooh, we will.
I think that's all the side quests at the moment.
Oh, sweet.
Yep. Cool. School festival time.
Yes, yes, Amdram. I'm so excited. Just doing my knitting. Don't mind me.
For some reason, the road to the school is really dangerous.
Oh, that doesn't seem good.
Like a lot of roads in this game, to be fair.
Yeah. How did Kloe get out?
I mean, she can take care of herself.
She's tough.
Ah, some more birds.
Friends for what's her bird? What's Kloe's bird called?
Oh, Seek.
Oh yeah, friend for him.
Nicely done.
Yeah, nicely done indeed. Squad.
One of these routes probably has a treasure chest. I know how these games work. This one? Surprisingly, no.
Treasure.
Neither of them. That is strange.
That is strange. Ooh. Ooh, fancy.
Oh, interesting that it uses this music.
Whoa, so this is the Royal Academy. I like it here. It seems so nice and relaxing.
Perfect type of environment for studying, I'd say.
Well, everyone's in class at the moment.
Why aren't you?
It'll get pretty noisy if you just want to wait around a little while. We're having the campus festival soon.
Ah, so I guess people are busy preparing for it.
Correct. I want to introduce you to the head of the student council, but she's in class. So, I'll take you to the dean's office first. Why there? To meet Dean Collins. He's in charge of the whole academy. His office is on the first floor of the main building to the right. Got it.
Well, let's go meet the dean then. Right, time to look at every other building first. Oh, no, can't go in there. Probably fair enough. Can't go in there either. Still probably fair enough.
They don't want to let you into any areas.
Ho ho! Got into the club
Oh wow.
house.
Oh. Where's the disco?
Oh, I think I already had that recipe.
It's fancy. They have a clubhouse.
It's a very fancy school.
Steal the records. Steal everything. Steal the bows. Steal that vase. The chumps letting you in.
Bruised and good. With the whole bracer act. Playing the long game.
Become a bracer. Pass the brace. Oh, the stage. Costumes. Oh my god, practice.
I feel like there's a chest in here somewhere.
There certainly are a lot of chest-like things.
I know.
What a great space. How are the acoustics?
Oh, probably great. It's the humanities classroom.
Oh.
It's the receptionist.
Oh wow, it's me. Oh, hello, Chloe. I should just do that as me.
Yeah.
Pardon me, Fauna, I just got back. Haha, welcome back. If you're looking for the dean, he just went to his office. He's been quite worried about you. Oh, alright, I'll go and see him now. That was me as a receptionist.
Oh, it's the faculty lounge. There are only 4 teachers allowed to sit down at any one time.
Gotta keep him active.
Mr. Effort. There are 3 major courses offered at the academy. All of them are important, but I'm personally in charge of physical education. I never would have guessed. There are no classes at the moment.
What?
Perfect time to get the papers sorted out.
Oh, he means no classes for him. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Effort. I'm back, Dean Collins.
Ah, hello, Chloe. And who might you be?
It's nice to meet you, Dean.
We're from the Bracer Guild. But you're so young. Very impressive indeed. Are you by any chance here because of the fire at the orphanage?
Yes, actually.
Chloe explained the entire situation surrounding the fire to Dean Collins. I see. That's terrible. And you say it was Clem who did it?
Oh, 100%.
I wish I could do something to help. Well, first there's a matter of cheering up the children.
How about a charity single?
Feed the world.
It's gonna be like an acoustic version of Burning Down the House. Watch out. You might get what you're after.
Perhaps I could stop there.
Yes, sir. In that case, I will work on the play with Estelle and Joshua.
I think that's a good idea. Estelle and Joshua, I wish you both the best. Do what you can.
Yes, sir. Delivering to the people what they really need at these trying times.
To the best of our meager ability. I'm letting the head of the student council handle the matter of the play. Her name is Jill.
Jill.
She can tell you far more about it than I ever could. I don't really care. I'll see about setting up dorm rooms for you.
Eh?
Dorms? Well, the campus festival is almost upon us. I'd imagine you'll need to rehearse every day for long hours. And if that's the case, you'll need a place to sleep, will you not?
Oh, okay.
That would be greatly appreciated. Ah, lessons seem to have concluded for the day. Why not go and introduce yourselves to the president, then?
Yes, sir. We should go to the student council room next. It's to the right of the main building on the 2nd floor of the clubhouse. Okay, let's go. Again.
See what else we can nick. Ah, the students are around now.
Ah. Where's Jill?
There she is.
Oh. Okay, what's her vibe? She looks like me.
She does a bit, actually, yeah.
So busy.
I mean, everyone's probably going to be really posh here, is the thing. But Do what feels natural.
The budgets for all of the concession stands have been checked over. No problems with sending out the invitations.
Now all that's left is the play. If we can't find anyone to fill the last 2 roles, the only option might be for us to fill them in ourselves.
But then we'd have to Oh no, there's no way you're acting in the play. The horrors I witnessed when we first tried these costumes on is going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
Don't remind me. I never want to wear anything like that ever again.
I'm back, Jill. Hello, Hans. Chloe? I heard about the fire. It must have been awful.
Were the matron and kids all right?
Yes, they're fine for now. The orphanage was burnt to the ground, though.
I see.
Well, try to keep your spirits up. Fretting won't do anyone any good. The best thing we can do is make the play something the kids can enjoy.
Show must go on.
Yes, Matron Teresa gave us the same advice. So, we'll give it our best. With your help, I'm sure everything will turn out fine. To think I was stressing about it just a few minutes ago. Who are your friends? Nice to meet you. My name's Estelle.
I'm Joshua. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
So you must be the ones Chloe spoke of before. I told you I'd bring them here. They'll be helping too. Oh, that's a relief. I'm glad to meet the both of you. I'm Jill Ridenour. I'm the head of the student council. I'll be directing the play.
And I'm the vice president, Hans. It's nice to meet you both.
Likewise.
Good to meet you too.
You know... What? With braces here, maybe we can incorporate stunts. Are you any good with a sword, Estelle? Well, my father mainly trained me on the staff, but I'm not hopeless at least. Okay, then that settles it. You'll have a big sword fight with Chloe. Whoa, a sword fight? She means in the play, of course. There's a duel between the 2 knights at the climax of the play. It's a really powerful scene, perfect for the final act. We don't have any girls who can use a sword well enough to compete with Chloe, much less make it look good. She beat every guy in the fencing tournament and took the top spot. Oh wow. She actually beat out Hans in the final match.
Thanks for reminding me, Jill. It's not that I'm no good, it's just that Chloe is way better.
I'm still only an amateur. I don't think I'd be any match for a professional like Estelle. And again with the modesty. But hey, if you need my help, I'm your girl. We can do it, Chloe. I'm sure we can. Thank you.
You know, a duel between 2 female knights ought to be pretty unique.
Joshua's fetish is uncovered.
Yeah. Female knights? They're going to be playing the 2 male knights.
Huh?
Huh?
Oh. But that leaves us without a role for Joshua. Oh my, whatever shall we do? He deserves to play a crucial role in this.
Yes, a crucial role. I think we may have just the part for him.
Eh?
What kind of play is this exactly?
It's called Madrigal of the White Magnolia. It's a famous story set in a time when there are nobles and commoners, unlike now when we're all, as you can hear, equal.
Yeah. Oh, Duke Junan, where did you come from?
A princess is courted by both a knight of royal blood and a commoner. In spite of their different social classes, the 3 have been friends since childhood. As you can imagine, this leads to complications between the nobles and the commoners. And there's a great happy ending to the whole thing. Hey, that sounds like fun!
It's a great happy ending to the whole thing where a revolution happens.
Oh, I thought I was gonna go, the commoner dies!
So then, why are the girls playing the guy roles?
It's Panto, Joshua, keep up.
It's just something to make the production more interesting this time.
Ooh, it's part of the vision.
Having guys and girls switch roles, that is.
Really? Whoa. And the teachers are okay with this?
No, they're all turfs.
End sexual discrimination. Be free of gender roles. Put in that light, the teachers loved the idea. Oh. Personally, I just thought people would get a kick out of it. Not me, though. Just other people. Jill, you're incorrigible.
Yep. Though she says she prefers the title Evil Genius.
I'm totally up for this.
Hey, hold on a second. From what you're telling me, then, the crucial role you need me to play is... Yep, you're really doing us a massive favour here.
Thank you for introducing us to such nice people, Kloe. I'm sorry, Joshua. So, these are our costumes. I figured that if we're playing knights, we'd be all armoured up. Well, armour and a helmet won't work so well if we want people to see you act. That's why I decided to arrange things so you'd be dressed more like the Royal Guardsman. Oh, got it. It's perfect for Kloe. She's petite. Thank you so much. I think it suits you also. Really? What if we kissed and we were both dressed as knights? Just kidding. Say, why are we dressed in different colours? Because I'm playing the Azure Knight, Oscar. You're playing the Ruby Knight, Kieran. Julius. It makes the play more colourful. Oh, okay then. So, what about Joshua?
The object of your affection is the fair Princess Cecilia. Come on, Princess. This way. Oh, wait, I'm not in the moment yet.
What's my motivation in this scene? Huh? Huh.
If you're going to say something, say it. Don't leave me in suspense.
Well, how should I put it? I think it looks perfect. I'm shocked. You look beautiful.
Indeed. Such poise. Why, if I didn't know what... Oh no, let's skip over that. Well, thank you for being so honest about it, at least. I'm not so thrilled, but...
This is just as I'd hoped. I think everyone will be pretty pleased with the casting. Come on, everyone. Let's make this play one to remember. Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's not having fun.
No.
No.
Afterward, Estelle and Joshua each slept in their respective dormitories.
Okay, Estelle, please use this bed. Thank you. But that means you and Jill are in the same room.
Oh. And there's only one bed.
You two must be close. We have been ever since we first started here. And as roommates, we're pretty... Oh my god. They were roommates. And as roommates, we're pretty much inseparable. By the way, I have a proposition for you. What? Want to be an honorary best friend of mine? After all, we're going to be working together.
Is she a friend of Jill's?
You don't mind, do you? Ha! Of course not. Not superseding me, I hope. We're a best friend trio, right? Yeah, of course we are. My new best friends, Jill and Kloe. Wonderful. Looks like it's just us girls in here. This'll be fun.
Like it always is. It's a girls' dormitory.
Yeah, but this time it's just those. It's just them girls. No need to worry about boys prying eyes while we're here. Everyone get naked. You make it sound so dirty. You're so innocent. Like a little lamb. Well, that's just mean. Just for that, I'm not baking you any sweets. Oh, well, pardon me. I apologise for offending you, Mademoiselle Kloe. No, try again. What's wrong, Estelle? What's with all the staring? It's no big deal. I've just got a little green monster on my shoulder. What do you mean? I have some friends back in Roland, but the most we ever did was have sleepovers. We didn't do kissing or over-the-clothes touching or nothing. I think it must be nice to have someone close, living under the same roof with you. What do you think, Kloe? I'm not sure. I don't really understand what would make you jealous, Estelle. Huh? I concur. I almost want to ask where you get off saying something like that. And I almost want to ask where you get off. Why would you say that? Oh, come on. You've got a travelling companion, don't you? A pretty nice looking one to boot. Who you've also, I don't know, lived under the same roof with. You're talking about Joshua? That's kind of a silly question. You've got a hot guy with you all the time and you're jealous of us living in an all-girl household. I'm playing a tiny violin for you. Like, minuscule in size. Shows what you know. Joshua's more like a big brother to me. Us living together is more like a family thing. Oh, a family thing, she says. I wonder if Joshua feels the same way. Huh? Oh, it's actually buh.
Actually, it's buh, yeah.
I bet that's not what a guy his age would think. It's gotta be tough for him to be always be around a pretty girl like you. Eh? Enough, Jill. I'm so sorry, Estelle. Jill has a bad habit of picking up on people. If we're going to start talking about bad habits, is there something you'd like to say? Nope, I'm good. Come on, don't mess with me like that. And really, Joshua, I mean, come on. No way. Someone's in denial. Jill. Oops, I just remembered I have to give my daily report to the teacher before bed. So good night, ladies. Sleep well. I can't do a wink without, like, my whole face going. I swear. Oh, right, Estelle? If you'd like, I can lend you some of my pajamas. Estelle? What? Oh, right, pajamas. Sure, that sounds great.
Didn't she have pajamas with her?
Dunno.
With that, Estelle and Joshua's unlikely life at the Royal Academy had begun.
I'm not being rude, this is what the game is telling me.
This is just what's in front of you, yeah.
Yeah. I just call them as I see them.
As lesbians.
Where are my lesbians? Here.
In the morning, they would wake up and go to school, just like the other students.
Oh, what? They have to go to class?
Yeah, I don't really understand why.
But Estelle doesn't know things. Everyone's always telling her that.
Maybe that's why.
Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I see. I see how it is.
This is the dynamic. All throughout the morning, they attended lessons with the other students. I guess what else are they going to be doing?
They could be learning their lines. I'm so excited for the play. I love drama.
As the day wore on, lunch was enjoyed by all, over pleasant, silly conversations, mostly revolving around how Joshua might look in heels, even though they presumably already know.
Yeah. And you can't see his shoes anyway.
Yeah, true. I like how there's a priest in this play.
Good.
School was followed by rigorous rehearsals that lasted late into the night.
I'm playing the priest.
Everyone was having such fun that the time seemed to fly by.
Time team to fly by.
Time team flew by. And the day before the festival...
My friend, I fear this was inevitable. Perhaps fate always intended us to meet in so base a fashion. Speak, that we may both be unburdened. If nothing else, for our beloved princess. We would cleave a path through fate with our own hands, but at this moment my words and her smile seem lost. Has fear clutched your heart, Oscar? But what is this passion that pierces me to the quick? Though I have no wish to fight you again, it would seem that I am left with little choice. Before this storm, by the name of revolution, should claim us both.
I was right.
Do you? Take up your sword, and we shall let fate decide. Yes, and may the goddess above see our spirits as they truly are. Come on, Ben. Let it be done. Indeed. Phew. Whew. Woohoo! I finally got through the scene with no mistakes. And a convincing performance it was. I've got nothing on you, though. I don't think you've flubbed a single line. Well, I've been familiar with this script for a long time. I think I learned it about the same rate you're going. I really appreciate you taking the trouble to rehearse. It's no big deal. You've kind of been my guide through it all. I think you'd make a great bracer, personally. You flatter me. Yes, drama. We finally do this for real tomorrow. I hope Matron Teresa and the children will enjoy it. They really mean a lot to you, don't they? They're like your family. I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong? No, you're exactly right. They're the ones who taught me the real value of family. Both of my parents died shortly after I was born. What? I was left in the care of an affluent relative. I never wanted for anything, but I really had no idea what having a family was like. It was 10 years ago that I met the matron. 10 years ago? Was that during the 100 Days War? Yes. That was when I came to Rouen. Everyone I knew had scattered trying to escape the Imperial forces. Matron Teresa and her husband Joseph took me in and cared for me. Wow. After the war ended, we waited several months for word to come of my relatives. She and Joseph were so kind to me. That was when I first understood what it must be like to have a mother and a father, and how it must be to have a family to be with. Kloe. I'm sorry. I've been rambling. You must be bored to tears. No, not at all. Let's really show everyone tomorrow how it's done. Right. I was worried before, but I'm really excited now. Jill and Hans sure have worked hard on this, haven't they? Yes, indeed. But I think Joshua has really been the biggest help. I never expected him to be such a good actor. Yeah. He acted all uninteresting, but he sure plays the role of the spoiled princess well. He definitely nailed the mannerisms. I've seen professionals turn in worse performances. Does he have any experience in theatre? I don't really know much about his life before I met him. Whatever went on back then, he's never wanted to talk about it. Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry. Don't sweat it. He's always been the type to be good at whatever he does. He's always so calm and collected. Sometimes he gets flustered though, and that's when he's really cute. What? Perhaps our roles should have been reversed. Huh? Julius and Oscar. Somehow I think you would have preferred to play Oscar. How come? Well, maybe. I mean, Julius is the son of a noble, and I sure don't know anything about that. That's not what I mean. It's more about, you know, the ending. Oh, you mean how Oscar gets... Right. Well, it's just Joshua. Hey, do you mean you wouldn't like kissing Joshua? Don't be ridiculous. So it does seem rather risque. Come on. You're starting to sound like Jill. And besides, Joshua just sees me like a little sister. Does he? He's always treated me like a little kid, especially with my dad around. It drives me nuts. Anyway, there's absolutely nothing like that going on. Okay.
Ah, here you are.
Joshua? Hans?
Rehearsal's over, and you're still practicing. That's some dedication you two have. Ready for the big duel scene?
Just leave it to us. It'll be flawless.
Really? I look forward to seeing it.
Anyway, what are you two doing here? Were you looking for us?
Yeah. Today's the last day you two will be staying with us in the dorms, right? I was thinking we could have a big dinner to pump ourselves up.
Maybe. Yeah, let's do it. I think it sounds like a great idea.
By the way, wasn't Jill with you?
She was called away by the dean some time ago. I'll go check on her. I'll come with you. You guys can go on ahead to the cafeteria.
Okay. Let's go to the cafeteria. As you wish, boss. Don't call me that.
Shouldn't that have been like Milady? Looks like they've really hit it off. Sometimes it worries me that he doesn't really let people get close. What? Oh, it's nothing. Okay then, let's go get changed. It'd be kind of embarrassing to walk around like this. I have to agree. No, it wouldn't. They look great. That should do it. Wanna go meet up with Jill? Alright, let's go to the dean's office. Girls, girls, girls.
Ooh. Just like stuff up.
Oh, it's getting fancy.
No, why I'm just wandering around.
It's just the tension before the big show.
Mm.
We're all feeling it, don't worry, Kieran.
Hey, they're not in the cafeteria.
You don't think... Oh.
Miss Viola is so damn hot. Plus, she's really upfront about things and seems low maintenance, which always scores big points with me. On the other hand, I don't get the feeling there's a beating heart under Miss Millia's chilly exterior. But man, there's something about a woman wearing a pair of glasses that suits her. Well, far be it from me to challenge a strongly held opinion. But wouldn't that also apply to Jill? It's not just about the glasses. Mature women just have this glamour to them. Feeling a little anxious, are we? Never in my life.
Didn't they say they were going to their seats? What's all this about? Boys can be so hopeless sometimes. Well, Joshua's in on this conversation too. I'm kind of surprised.
So, how far have you gone with Estelle? I know you're not going to tell me you haven't done anything with her.
Oh my god.
Sorry to disappoint you, but you have an overactive imagination. What am I supposed to say? Not that it would be any of your business, mind you. Huh, you're insane. I just figured you two would make a good couple. So, if you've given up on that, what's your plan to attack on Kloe? You might have to practice, but if you straighten up a little, you could be a good match for her. What's that supposed to mean?
You want to get out of here and go into the dean's office? Yes, we need to meet up with Jill.
That was strange.
That was very strange.
I mean, I'm glad it moved on from Hans fancying teachers.
Hey, that's a great idea. That's our dean, always level-headed.
You flatter me.
It's just because I'm wearing this hat.
My head isn't actually that flat. Look, it's kind of rounded. Then, I assume I can entrust the list to you.
Yes, sir. I'll take care of it. Excuse us. Oh, we're sorry. I'm interrupting.
No, we were just finishing up. Actually.
Dean, don't say anything. You'll spoil the fun tomorrow. What? You're acting all suspicious. So what are you plotting this time, Jill? You'll have to wait until tomorrow to find out. Anyway, what's up? Do you need me for something? Yes, actually.
Kloe explained that an evening feast had been planned for the next day in anticipation of the play's success.
Oh, that sounds fine. I'm just hoping and praying the festival is a big success. Let's give it all we've got.
Barring any major complications, I think tomorrow will go just fine.
Yes, sir. Come on, Jill, let's go to the cafeteria. Okay. Girls. The girls.
Gathering the squad.
Oh, they're there now.
Yeah.
We're here. Woo, thanks everyone.
Thank you, Jill. Hey, we've been waiting for you. Now, are you ready to order some food? Oh, I guess it's like you go around and talk to more people.
Let's order the food.
Let's order some food.
Oh man, my stomach cries out for nourishment. Finishing up the play and having to run hither and yon like a madman really works up an appetite. But all that ends after today, right? You're right, I've got to get motivated. Got the new job to deal with and all.
Wait, what? What new job?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it later. Let's get out there and stir things up. We're going to make this festival a huge success. I'll be counting on you, Estelle. You too, Joshua. Oh, I'm all over it.
We'll do our absolute best. That evening, everyone spent a rather busy hour in the cafeteria. At the end, they all raised a toast, with soft drinks, to the success of the play.
The play!
Afterwards, they returned to the dorm and went to bed early, in order to be prepared for the busy day ahead. And on the day of the festival...
The school exploded, the end. The stage is set perfectly. The lights are just right. Okay, looks like we're ready to unleash our masterpiece.
It's like the beginning of every episode of The Goes Wrong show.
Yeah.
We'll be opening soon. We've got a bit before everything starts, though. Go have some fun in the meantime.
I'm the director, Jill. Now you're talking. I'm going to stuff my face with something from every food stand out there.
Looking around is fine. But if you eat too much, you'll be too full to move in the play.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't overdo it. Hey, aren't you guys going to come with us? Can't. We've still got student council business to deal with. You'll be fine. Go have some fun. What? What student council business? And didn't you say the same thing yesterday? Is there something I can do to help? We're fine, I promise. All you need is to show Estelle and Joshua around. Aren't the pipsqueaks going to be showing up soon? Oh, right, sorry.
We'll have time enough to go out and enjoy the festival. Oh yeah, and Joshua, if you see any hot girls out there, I expect you to beeline it right back here and tell me, got it?
To be honest, even if they're just tepid.
Lukewarm would be my minimum standard. I wouldn't want any of them missing out on the pleasure of my company, heart emoji. Yeah, I got it. Tall, gorgeous, sensual, charming. Did I miss anything? My friend, I couldn't have said it better myself.
I swear you're hopeless. What's up, gals? What's up, my gals, my pals, my gal pals? The time you've all been waiting for has finally arrived. The 52nd Janus Royal Academy Campus Festival has begun. So why don't you boogie on dine?
It's Jenny Joyce.
It's Jenny Joyce.
Or maybe Jill should have been Jenny Joyce. I
don't think I'm confident enough in my Jenny Joyce impression. Holy, tons of people.
Well, this is the famed Janus Royal Academy, after all. So it's definitely not your average school festival.
Well, we are expecting a lot more visitors this year than usual. All right, it's finally here. Come on, Hans, let's go.
All right. We'll be in the student council office, so come see us if you need us. Sure thing. Best of luck, you two.
Should we go and look around? Works for me. Oh no. Children.
Ah.
Run, run.
Oh, is that Niall?
Yay!
Estelle and Joshua. What brings you two here?
Hi, Niall. Are you here for business or pleasure?
Lots of people in the entertainment industry were invited. Did you ever find a link between all those bits of information you found? I wonder. Actually, before I get into that, I'm hungry. I think I'll go fetch me some grub. Okay, that's the end of that, I guess.
Oh, glad to see him, though.
Yeah. Ooh, some crepes.
A milk crepe.
A royal crepe. Yeah.
I wonder what else you can get. I'm just excited for the play.
Well, you should be.
I haven't been back to my alma mater in a long time. It does bring back memories.
Oh, is that Gilbert?
Oh, hello, Gilbert.
Hello, Clary. Have all of your preparations been completed?
Yep, we practiced hard, learned our lines, and spent the afternoon waxing the hair off Joshua's face and arms. There's no eyebrows now, and all that's left is the doing.
I see. I look forward to seeing the results of your efforts. It's been some time since I was last here, but I still love my old alma mater. I have many fond memories of this place. I'll just stay here and think about them.
Why are they waxing his face?
Yeah, you wouldn't think anyone's gonna get close enough
Okay.
to notice like a teenager's stubble, but well, it's a little candy store. That's the extent of my thoughts on this.
That's what I learned at this school. How to spot a candy store. Precious him. The festival's nice and all, but I want to see what the typical school day is like. As a parent, I'd like to see how my child is going to spend his time.
Ah, one of those.
Speaking as a mother. She's going to be checking the library to make sure there's not any raunchy texts.
Oh my, look how low the prices are. At the school festival.
Wow, there are quite a few different shops. That one's a paid extra to fill up the crowd.
I feel like there are quests here somewhere. Oh, we can go this way.
Oh, the back roads. Should you be here?
Is there anything here?
It looks spooky.
Oh, look, a big hole in the floor.
Ah, it seems fine. It's the rival academy. The ghost academy.
That's where the ghosts come.
Remember, you will die.
Okay, I don't think there's anything here at the moment.
At the moment. It's gonna be another play. It's gonna be there. It's gonna be spooky.
Oh, a person walking around. Wow, so this is the Royal Academy. It's huge. Bye. What a pretty building. But it is the Janus Royal Academy after all.
No one got anything interesting to say.
Nah. Anyone who's just named a visitor, I'm just gonna skim over, I think.
Wow. Everyone's got fascinating takes.
Dean's gone.
He's been murdered. Jill killed him.
Oh, Mr. Effort is here, though. I heard some students talking yesterday who hadn't seen monsters in the old building.
Oh.
I'll be making sure everything's locked up tight before my rounds, just to be on the safe side.
Being a janitor is actually an important part of the PE teacher job.
I've not seen you since last year's Royal Council, Mayor Dalmore. Has much changed since then? As you can see, I'm feeling quite well. You look to be in good health also. I expect that today will be quite enjoyable.
Good, good. Hey, Kana.
Good afternoon.
Hi, guys. Jean told me what's been going on.
Jean.
Jean told me what's been going on. So you're just helping out wherever you're needed? More or less.
Are you working as security or something?
Basically. The alumni here tend to be Liberalian celebrities from all walks of life. Every year they're all invited back, thus the need for more heightened security. Whoa, I wonder who else went here. The who's who of Liberal, I guess. Well, just leave security up to me and you two can focus on helping out with the festival. I can't remember what voice I gave.
I don't know.
The event will be held on the grounds in the main building. The play is scheduled to be held in the auditorium this afternoon. The student council has set up the cafeteria as the rest area, so please feel free to relax there.
Customer service there.
Ugh.
This is real learning.
Whoa, whoa.
This is private schooling.
I wonder if that creepy guy from the airship port is here. Ooh,
Oh yeah. Oh god, he probably is. Oh wow, there's a lot of people in here.
Mr.
There's a
Ratio.
ratio. He organizes Twitter pylons. The lead roles will be played by students, will they not?
No,
Everyone's
actually.
even more active than usual. Purity.
I'm kind of embarrassed to be dressed like this, but it is for the festival.
Oh, it's a maid cafe.
Yeah,
I hadn't realized. Oh, some French fry. I mean, Calvardian fries.
Yeah, it's kind of like implying the existence of France and
Yeah, well, that's where Sean is from. And, oh, is that?
Mayor Mabel!
And her maid wife.
Oh my god!
The actual maid.
Oh, well if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. What are you doing here? To tell you the truth, I actually graduated from here. I always make a point of going to the campus festival each year. Oh, okay, that's cool. But enough about me. How have you two been doing? Are you here on guild business? Well, actually...
Estelle told Mayor Mabel what had been going on.
Oh, so you're helping out with the play. I've always found them to be slightly tiresome. But if you're going to be on stage, I certainly don't want to miss it.
I'd really rather not have anyone I know in the audience for this.
Don't make me act. Long time no see. You look as energetic as ever.
Oh, okay. Into that conversation.
Kind of weird that she's in the maid cafe.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
I know.
lie. Don't make me act.
I do really like that the character models are quite simple, but you notice how easily I've been able to recognize people
Yeah.
from just like small details. Oh.
Oh no, he's looking at a fish.
So this is the campus which is funded through the royal coffers. As the Queen's nephew, I ought to give it a thorough inspection. Did he not go here? I'm sure that the students will consider it a great honor.
Was the old fart even invited?
I imagine he was. Not inviting him would have just been asking for trouble. Your Grace, I hate to say this once more, but please consider your words when among the public. What is this guy's outfit looking like? Ah, Antonio! I wonder what typical classes here are like! Hey, Antonio! He just has every accent. I don't know what I was even trying for there.
It was great.
Thank you. Thank you for your support. Oh!
What's this?
I don't know. Horrible compatibility tester.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously. Oh.
Born then in the Septian calendar. Please input next profile.
Can tell, is it to say who's
I think so.
Joshua?
Beginning analysis.
Whoa.
These are two very active
Oh.
individuals. Today's the ideal day to take on new challenges or foes together.
Oh.
Yeah, boring.
Mm.
Let's just test Olivier with everyone.
Oh,
That
yeah.
seems like the most appropriate way to use this.
Mm.
The spiciest possible.
Mm.
That doesn't seem right. Oh!
Oh. Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Whoa.
This is terrifying.
Joshua and Estelle.
Oh.
You got it. Come
Yeah, it's gonna be spicy.
on.
Which
It's
of
a
them is
shame you
older?
can't- Why isn't Jill and that on there?
Yeah. Oh, Joshua's older.
Oh. Well, they did do
Oh,
the
yeah.
older brother and.
Only by a few months, though.
Mm. Oh. Oh. That was boring. I wanted it to be good.
You'd spend all day on this.
Yeah, it's not though. But I enjoyed the drama.
It is a shame Olivier's not here, because I feel like you'd enjoy that.
He'd be
I know all
testing
about it.
Olivier with Olivier.
Yeah, Jerome did a bang-up job. It's a shame you can't do that. No, no more electric shocks, we promise. Ah.
Oh. Who's the teacher?
Miss Milia.
That's
Oh, the one
what
with
I
the
thought-
glasses.
Yeah.
That's what I know about her.
Mm.
Doesn't look like there's any quests, actually. Maybe the quests were yesterday. Maybe that's what I was supposed to do then.
Oh well.
Eh.
We all know what the most important thing is.
Yeah. Oh, it's this guy.
Huh? Professor Alba, is that you?
Well, Estelle and Joshua. This is a pleasant surprise. I trust you're doing well? Were you invited here for the festival? Sadly, no. I'm here on other business. I've come to investigate a new discovery within the Sefel Tower. I was hoping that the Academy could provide me with some useful materials.
Whoa, you're really dedicated.
Well, I have to be. Research hasn't made me wealthy, so I'm fueled by pure enthusiasm. On a related note, the Academy's curriculum is divided into a few courses, isn't it? Will there be any exhibitions?
Yes, although of the 3 courses available to study, only the social studies class will have an exhibition. The students are displaying the results of an independent research project.
Ah, they're doing their EPQ.
Yeah.
I see. I recall my own days as a student. So, where is this research publication made?
Oh, okay. This must be your first time at the academy, right? Let's see. How to explain. Indeed, the campus is fairly littered with buildings.
There's like 5.
If you'd like, we can just take you there.
That would be helpful. But I'd hate to spoil your fun here.
Oh, it's fine. We're not doing anything major right now.
I see. Well, in that case, I would greatly appreciate you showing me to the exhibition hall whenever you have time. I'll be waiting for you right here in the cafeteria. Found a quest!
Hey!
My, the students here are fortunate. I certainly wish my own meals only cost this much.
Ah, the fish.
Well. You've certainly pulled out all the stops, haven't you? So many areas of interest, from history to economics. Thank you so much. This looks like smashing fun.
It was my pleasure to help, sir. Social studies is my major, so I hope you enjoy looking around. I've never been any good at this whole academics thing.
One of these days you're really going to have to get over that. Being a bracer requires knowledge in many different areas of study. Well, I'm itching to start looking around, so if you'll excuse me. Thank you again for showing me the way here.
He's just there for unrelated reasons.
Miss
Oh,
Kloe!
Oh, you're all here. Hey, kiddos. Glad you could make it.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I ate so much candy I puked.
Oh, it's Ralph Wiggum. I told you not to be such a pig. It's Matron Teresa with you.
Yeah, she's talking to those people over there. Here she is.
Good afternoon, all. Matron Teresa. Good afternoon, Matron. Thank you so much for inviting us here today. The children and I have enjoyed it greatly.
Hey, Miss Kloe. When your plaything is supposed to start?
We've all been looking forward to it. I see. Well, you'll have to wait just a little bit longer. Did you know that both Estelle and Joshua are going to be in the play with me?
Really? That's going to be so cool.
Which part are you going to be playing, Mr. Joshua?
Well, how to put this?
You'll just have to wait and see, won't you? Oh, by the way, are you guys still staying in Minoria? Yes, although through the continued goodwill of the innkeepers. That said, however...
Hey guys, do you want to see the costumes that'll be used in the play? There are pretty dresses and suits of armor.
Pretty dresses?
Suits of armor? I guess I have your attention. I'll give you an exclusive sneak peek at them before the play even starts. Yay!
I want to go too.
Be backstage. Come when you're ready.
Yeah, get rid of the kids.
Okay, now follow me.
Joshua is such a thoughtful boy. I didn't want to speak of this in front of the children. You mean? Yes, I've chosen to accept the mayor's offer. We will impose it upon the Minorians no longer. I'll tell the children today, after the festival.
Probably worth a reminder because I had forgotten about this until I watched the last stream. After the orphanage burned down, the mayor offered that he would let them live in his villa in Gransel.
Okay, right. So they would have to move was the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I see. That's sad. But I suppose you have no choice. Please don't look at me so. Gransel is still easily reachable by airship. Moreover, I can look for work while I'm there. If I save enough Mira, I'll be able to rebuild the orphanage someday. Matron. Now then, let's find the children, shall we? I would imagine they're a bit much for Joshua to handle on his own. Yeah, the costumes might get sticky.
Wow, this is so cool. I wonder if I could wear it.
Not with how short you are. I wish I could try on a white dress. The play hasn't even gone yet, Kai.
Where's Joshua?
Well, you look like you're having fun. Huh? Where'd Joshua go?
Mr. Joshua? He left after he brought us here.
He said, wait here until the girls arrive. Something wrong? Eyes, nose. Mr. Joshua went looking for a guy with silver hair. Silver hair? Yeah, he helped us get out of fire before. His hair's all shiny and pretty. What? So he's been seen on campus? Just for a second now. Mr. Joshua is sure surprised.
Polly, you dummy! Why don't you come and tell any of us?
Because I was eating a crap. I know.
There's crepes!
I'll be right back, matron. Yes, that's fine. Chloe, would you please go with her? Don't worry about us, we'll be fine. By your leave, matron.
Hey, you're going too?
Yes, I'm sorry. We'll see you at the play. Yeah, it's gonna knock your socks off. Anyway, let's go find Joshua. I don't know who that guy with the silver hair is, but even without meeting him, he totally creeps me out. Just a moment, please. Sieg!
Scree?
I need to ask you something. Did you see where Joshua went?
That's a noise a hawk makes.
I don't think I'll ever get tired of that. Wait, is he headed? To the old school building down the back road, yes. Shall we? Oh, not the creepy building.
Oh, Connor's out here now.
Hey, what's going on? Where's the fire? Don't tell me something's wrong. No, it's no big deal. Okay, alright then. Just be sure and let me know if anything pops up. Just didn't give a shit. I wonder what this silver-haired man's doing, but he's angsty.
He does have silver hair.
Exactly.
Oh, look, a suspicious statue.
Very nice.
Ho ho ho!
Yeah.
Feed me, Seymour! Wow, they really left this place in a state.
Yeah. They just built. Do you think they just build a whole new school every like 10 years?
Yeah, probably.
The item fairy has yet to make her second rounds today. Oh my god, there's an item fairy.
What is that?
Don't know.
You'll never know.
Spooky, spooky school.
Strange. I could have sworn. But it couldn't be.
Joshua!
Hey, you two.
You need to stop making us worry about you. I almost had a heart attack when I heard you went chasing after some guy with silver hair.
How did you know?
Polly told us. I guess she saw you.
She's a pretty sharp-eyed kid. I did follow a man matching the description out this way. But I guess I lost him.
Oh my. He must have been pretty talented if he managed to give you the slip. Any idea who he was?
I'm afraid not.
Insight check.
I don't think it was our arsonist, though. I tailed him as long as I could, and he didn't set fire to anything.
I see. By the way, why'd you run off by yourself? My thoughts exactly. You could at least have left us a message.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to worry you.
Who said I was worried? I was just pointing out the importance of teamwork. You're a terrible liar. Not 5 minutes ago, you were in a total panic. I was not. And hey, you were pretty concerned yourself.
Thank you, both of you.
Your attention, please. All play personnel, please report to the auditorium right away. Once again, all play personnel, please report to the auditorium right away. Thank you. Oh yeah, it's almost time, isn't it? Yes, we should get into costume. The play will start soon. All right then. Let's do this. Oh, what about that guy with the silver hair?
I suppose all we can do is let Karna know and warn her to keep an eye out.
The orphanage has only been burned down one time.
Yeah. The three then spoke to Karna about the silver-haired man and left for the auditorium immediately afterward. 30 minutes later...
Oh my god,
It's
oh my
time.
god, it's time.
Oh, I'm glad Duke Junan has front row seats.
Whoa, look at all the people.
And there's even more out there.
Okay, now I'm getting kind of nervous. You'll be fine, Estelle. This is what all the rehearsals are for.
Besides, once we start up, you'll forget they're even there.
I'm gonna have to try and stop myself from accidentally doing Joshua's lines.
You're the type who can only focus on one thing at a time, anyway.
Just one thing at a time, huh? Well, I guess I'll just focus on the boy in the dress then. There's actually more than one, right?
There should be, although...
I don't
Actually,
know.
now you mention it.
Okay, you two can have your little spat another time. Ahem. This year's campus festival is already a big success. Although we have many esteemed individuals here, such as the Duke and the Mayor, we can't afford to be intimidated. So just remember our number one rule and you'll be fine. If you're gonna puke, do it off stage.
We've done a good job of keeping the festival lively so far. Now let's close it out with a real bang. Let's bang on stage.
Jill. Just kidding. Unless... Without further ado, the Student Council proudly presents Madrigal of the White Magnolia. Enjoy the show. Turn off your phones. In year 1100 of the Septian calendar, 100 years ago, La Burle was still a land of nobles and aristocrats.
Looks pointedly at Duke Junan in the front row.
But commoners too held some power, and they were prodigious rulers that grew more influential with each passing year. During this period, there was much friction between the classes, and the nobles and commoners clashed often. As time went on, these clashes intensified. The intercession of the royal family and the church failed to end their squabbling. The stage was set for a final conflict. A year had passed since illness stole the king from his people. Our tale begins on an early spring evening in the rooftop garden of Gransell Castle. Oh my god, we're going to see the whole play.
Yep. The streetlights shine on everyone, each bright with their own happiness. And in spite of that...
Ah, here you are, princess. Please, don't you think you should be going to bed soon, your royal highness? Staying up so late can surely do you no good.
It's all right if I should fall ill. If that happened, then perhaps I could avoid becoming the last ember in this dying flame we call La Burle.
Please, do not speak of such things. Your highness, you are the most exalted individual in La Burle. If you were to take a husband, you could take control of the kingdom.
I will not marry. Despite my father's wishes, I shall not consent to it.
But why, your highness? You have two fine men as suitors, after all. One is Sir Julius, of the Chivalric Order of the Imperial Guards, and the eldest son of a duke. And Sir Oscar, commoner though he may be, he has been recognised often in his battles against the Empire.
Oh, that's Sir Oscar, people say.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, both such fine men. Heart emoji.
No one knows better than I the quality of their characters. Oh, Oscar, Julius, how am I to choose between you?
Oh my, isn't that Joshua playing the role of the princess? I suppose Jill has put a great deal of thought into this reverse casting business.
Is Niall? Yeah, Niall's in the back row. Good.
Indeed, ma'am. He plays his role well, but the two maids leave much to be desired. She'd know. Experts, the expert spoken. Do you remember, Oscar? How we spent our boyhood days in this alley, running about and pretending our sticks were swords? I could never forget, Julius. In those days it was all so simple, with you and with Cecilia alike. I treasure that time greatly. Ha! I recall how stunned I was. I would always conspire to play with her in secret, only to discover another had been doing the same. She was as lovely as the sight of the falling petals in spring. Indeed, fair Cecilia was like unto our own very sun. But her light would dim with each day that passed. The nobles and the commoners. The fury of that conflict could never have been avoided. The princess's grief is easily understandable. Cruel fate mocks us so, for it is our very existence that has brought her such sorrow. Oh wow, they're so cool.
Sorry, I'm just scanning the audience to see who's there.
Everyone.
Basically everyone. I'm not sure if Professor Albau's there.
He's missing out.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but the kind look cuter than the girls. Clem is coming to a realization.
Hush now and watch the show. Oh, it's me.
Yeah, I guess so.
Know this, Julius. The commoners' impudence can be tolerated no longer. If they should forget their place and no longer view us as their superiors, the Bell's power structure would surely fall into ruin.
If I may, Father, it has been roughly 10 years since the Eastern Republic was founded. Perhaps the eventual seizing of power by the common people is inevitable in any state.
Speak not of such repulsive events. What is freedom? What is equality? What is anything? If commoners and nobles alike should cast all tradition aside. Better we should fall to our knees before the Empire's military and concede to their will. Father!
That's a fine Duke up there. Yeah, the commoners get all high and mighty, and your whole society collapses. Your Grace, perhaps it would be best to keep our voices down.
I'm assuming they have the same thing that's common in a lot of drama groups where they have, like, a gender imbalance.
Yeah.
And so in this instance, the people playing the boys' parts would be better.
Yeah.
Oscar, I am expecting great things. No. Oscar, I am expecting great things from you. If you can get the royal family on our side, we will have a great advantage over the nobles. And that advantage would allow us to seize power. But Chairman, I cannot consent to this. I could never use Cecilia for political gain. Ha ha, always putting others before yourself, I see. Even though you now have the chance to become king, albeit only on paper. If you would refuse, it would lead only to a bloody uprising and subsequent revolution. The royal family, and surely the nobles as well, would disappear into the shadows of history. Chairman.
Impressive. They've really done their research. I had severe doubts about this, ever since I first heard about the reverse role gimmick. The students have all put a great deal of work into this, it seems. The young Bracers have had no small hand in this either.
I do not wish bloodshed on anyone, revolution or not. I cannot simply allow Julius and Cecilia to die.
Do I stay or do I...
As for myself, I know not what I should do.
Ah! Oh, so good. I'm gonna be sick.
Are you alright? This might not be someone in the play, I'm not sure. You must have had quite a bit more than you can handle. It may be spring, but you'll surely catch your death if you sleep out here.
Thank you. It's a night.
It has nothing to do with being a knight, but rather simple concern. She's got her back to the audience.
Oh yeah, that's terrible blocking.
Yeah. I would have had to be quite the young fool not to see what I must do.
You got that right.
What? My arm!
Heh heh heh. Just a touch of anesthetic on the blade.
Now if you'll be so kind as to sit still. Curse you, assassin! Who sent you? Just a noble who wants you out of the picture. He wanted it badly enough to pay me up front, and pretty well at that. All you need to do is die.
Ah, I get it. Not bad at all. So, up next we should have... Oh, I got so wrapped up that I forgot about my work.
Wow. I wonder what the reviews will be like. Long has it been since you have entered my sight, fair princess?
Yes, Julius, it truly has. I cannot help but notice that Oscar is not with you today. Back when my father yet breathed, the two of you are oft spoken of by the maids of the court.
As you well know, your highness, the kingdom is in the midst of a crisis most dire. And as such, he and I may never be as close as once we were. I confess, I come to you today to ask a favour.
What favour would that be?
That you would allow he and I, head of the chivalric order and of the High Guard and a young general, to engage in a duel of honour, and that the victor should be granted the great honour of becoming your husband. Quite dramatic indeed. Can't barely remember who that was.
She is the vice head of the sort of intelligence.
With that guy
division.
that everyone's like, he's so cool.
Yeah, who is not there.
Caught up in the conflict between noble and commoner, these two close friends have finally decided on a duel. The princess now realizes their determination and keeps silent. And on the day of the duel, two knights step into the grand arena of the royal city. Many have come to witness it, commoner, noble, and all social castes in between.
How many of those are there?
Kobold and nominor. But conspicuously absent from the proceedings is the one over whom they fight, Princess Cecilia herself. My friend, I fear that this was inevitable. Perhaps fate always intended for us to meet in so base a fashion. Speak, that we may both be unburdened. If nothing else, for our beloved princess. We would cleave a path through fate with our own hands. But at this moment, my words and her smile seem lost. Has fear clutched your heart, Oscar? Perhaps. But what is this passion that pierces me to the quick? As I see you with blade drawn, I feel as though I've been waiting for this moment. Before this storm, by the name of revolution, should claim us both, we shall let fate decide our outcome. Yes, and may the goddess above see our spirits as they truly are. Come then, let it be done. On guard! Yeah. Yeah. Hiya. Impressive, Julius. I should say the same of you. But still, you seem to hesitate. What troubles you, Oscar? Is this the extent of your skill? Perhaps the tales of your acts of valour against the Empire were grossly overstated. Ha! done, Julius. Magnificent swordsmanship. Gah! Oscar! Your arm! I've had worse. 'Tis but a scratch. I understood that. Neither are blades connected with flesh, not even a glancing blow. Your wound was struck prior. This is a tactic most low, Duke Radmont. Was this your intention from the start?
Haha, I'll thank you to cease slandering my good name. Are you implying that I instigated this?
Father, is it true? Did you? It's all right, Julius. My own inexperience has brought this about. Besides, I've received far worse on the field of battle. I'll put everything I have behind my next strike. I intend to kill you. Oscar.
Very well. I'll ranger it all on my next strike as well.
For the fair princess, and the future of the very kingdom. He who lives, when all is said and done, will inherit the responsibility for all. And he who dies will watch over it all, from the realm of the spirits. Such is also the pride of a knight. Ha! I suppose it is.
Hiya!
No! Oh,
Cecilia! Princess! Cecilia, why? Were you not in attendance?
Oscar. Julius. I did not wish to observe a duel between the two of you. I felt I had to find a way to put a stop to this fight. Praise Adios that I arrived in time.
Cecilia. Princess!
Hear me, all in attendance. Dismiss me, and set aside your differences, please. Are we not all of Labourle? And do we not love this land? There is so little that separates us from one another. If you would but take your foe's hand, surely we could find a peaceful resolution.
Your Royal Highness.
You need say no more.
My vision fades. But what of you two? Will you not do as I ask?
Your will be done, my princess. At your side.
Strange. Everything is floating, just like that clown said. When I was young, oh no, I would sneak out of the castle, down to the alley. Oscar, Julius, you both always had smiles for me. I love your smiles. So, please, don't ever stop.
Believing. Princess? No, this cannot be. Princess! I'll do anything. Please, no! Cecilia, you...
Our poor princess. I just don't understand why she'd do such a thing.
Our princess gave her life that we might stop this unending dispute. Compared to that sacrifice, what a trifle is the pride of a nobleman.
Only a
It
trifle.
was only a trifle. Had we not been fighting, it would never have come to this. Only now, when it is too late, do I see our folly. Is this the fate of all men, with their spirits still shackled to their flesh? Adios, great goddess of the skies, we now know of your great resentment. There is much you do not yet understand, it seems. I granted you flesh to be your vessel, but your spirits still know more of freedom and nobility. Such contempt for it lies only within you, yourselves.
So beautiful.
A more beautiful voice I have never heard.
It's amazing. Adios herself has graced us with her presence.
The goddess. Incredible. Hear me, young knights. I have observed your contest. You are both courageous and strong, yet something vital within you is broken. It is as you say. Our own immaturity is what invited this fate upon us. Chairman, has your hate for the nobles and monarchy blinded you to the fact that we are all but men? I am ashamed. Duke, you know your sins better than anyone else could. And you, all the rest of you who have simply watched these events unfold. There is something fundamental within you that is lost as well. Strike your hand upon your breast and think well upon this. Haha. And now it seems that you have each remembered your hearts. As such, perhaps hope yet remains for Le Beurre, so long as you never forget the lessons learned this day.
Oh, she has vanished.
Oh. Where am I?
Princess? Cecilia.
Oh my. Julius. Oscar. Have you both been called up to heaven as well?
It's a genuine miracle. Princess! Oh, Prince Adios!
What? Why are the two of you here? And the Duke? And the Chairman? So then, I'm not dead.
Almighty Adios! Adios has given Le Beurre back its beloved. Praise her for her benevolence.
Oscar. Julius. What happened?
Nothing that you need concern yourself over, Cecilia. The conflict is at an end. I believe that everything will be all right. You're being naive, Oscar. We still have a duel to finish, do we not? Julius.
No. You still intend to fight?
On the contrary, this match is concluded. And besides, this fool managed to get hit on his sword arm. But it would not do for a duel such as this to not have a clear victor. Thus, it stands to reason that the man who fought with a significant handicap, yet emerged undefeated, should be regarded as the victor. Wait, Julius. Don't misunderstand me, Oscar. I have not given up on the princess. Once you are healed, our duel will continue, but with blades of wood. Just as when we were boys. I see. Very well then. I accept your challenge.
Have neither of you any regard for my own wishes?
You are mistaken. You, my lady, shall judge today's match, and I think it only fair for the victor to be granted a kiss. Surely, everyone waits with bated breath for it.
Very well. Don't they look marvellous together?
Almighty Adios, look well upon this, and may this fine day extend unto eternity. Eternal peace to Le Beurre. Eternal glory to Le Beurre. Wow, what a play. Encore, encore.
Quite the grand finale. But no matter.
I guess it got the edgelord vote.
Yeah. And so the curtain fell on the madrigal of the White Magnolia, to grand fanfare and acclaim. And with its conclusion, an announcement went out that the campus festival had reached its end. The crowd began to disperse and leave the campus, each person wearing a look of contentment.
Brilliant, just brilliant. That was on fine play, if the director's allowed to say so. At first, I thought people would make fun of us with the roles switched like that. I'm so glad they took it seriously.
Agreed. The costumes worked out pretty well. I wouldn't want to have to wear mine again, though. Corsets are like some form of torture.
No kidding. I mean, not that I know. Well, it was all for a good cause. And just wait till you see how many pictures the photography club took. The ones of you ought to be particularly popular.
Give it a rest.
The ones of Estelle and Kloe won't exactly drive people away either. The guys always go nuts for the junior girls. We're really gonna rake in the mirror. I mean, all proceeds will go to a good cause. Jill.
Estelle? What's wrong?
Yeah? Huh? What? Where? What are you talking about?
Nothing important, really. You've been spacing out ever since the play finished. Are you okay?
Well, that fight scene was pretty hard work. It's no surprise that you're tired.
Do you feel sick? We can take you to the nurse's office. I'm fine, really. I deal with fatigue every day as a bracer. I'm just trying to get my head back in order is all. Oh. Estelle, you don't mean... No, nothing like that at all. I promise I am perfectly alright.
Huh?
I trust we're not interrupting. Oh no.
Miss Kloe! Oscar was so cool! I want to be that cool when I grow up.
Thank you. You were really great too, Miss Estelle. So Julia's. Hey now, Mary. And Joshua is so cute.
Yeah, I couldn't stop looking.
These kids are so creepy.
Thank you.
It was great fun for us all. A play about love and friendship buffeted by the winds of a tumultuous era. It was so moving. The fight scene was intense, and no one could only expect it to end in tragedy. It had such a heartwarming conclusion. I thought it was splendid. Well, with praise like that, I'll have to say it was worth the effort. Oh yeah, Hans?
Oh, right. Almost forgot.
Huh? What's up? It's nothing bad, don't worry. I'll be right back, so just keep doing what you're doing. Okay. Those were Jill and Hans, no? Kloe, your friends are on the student council then? Yes, they were in charge of the production of the play. I see, I must thank them then. The children will have many fond memories of Rouen. Matron. I've made up my mind. I will tell them my decision when we return to Minoria. And then tomorrow, we'll take the first steps. Whoa, so soon?
Hey, what you talking about?
Clem, you shouldn't listen in on the grown-ups talk. It's okay, Mary. But I think we should probably return to the inn. We can have dinner and continue our discussion over there.
Okay.
Now then, Kloe. And you too, Estelle and Joshua. I'm afraid you'll be taking our leave. Thank you for today. It was a lovely play. Oh, hold on a sec. Jill's coming back any moment and she'll probably want to say goodbye before you go.
Pardon me.
Oh, Dean Collins.
It's a pleasure to see you again, Matron Teresa. I must apologize for not coming by earlier. To thank you for taking the time to visit.
You needn't thank me. The festival was magnificent. I'm grateful for the invitation.
Yes, the students were magnificent, weren't they? Kloe told me of your current situation. Truly dreadful. I was trying to think of a way we could help. Jill?
Yes, sir! Please, take this.
Jill handed Matron Teresa a bulky envelope, sealed with the Royal Academy's crest.
What's this? We took up a collection for you. It's 1 million mirror. Please use it to help me build the orphanage. 1 million mirror?
That's impressive.
But how?
Well, we have the Duke, as well as the Mayor of Boza, so there are some celebrities here. Thanks to them, we were able to collect far more than we would have otherwise.
Dean. No, I couldn't. I can't accept this.
I don't see why not. The festival collects donations for charity every year.
People donated specifically to help rebuild the orphanage. But it's too much. Please accept it, matron. But Chloe, I've realised that you're overwhelmed. But think about it. With that mirror, the rebuilding could start and you wouldn't need to go to Groundsel. You wouldn't have to give up your herb garden.
She speaks the truth. Joseph would want you to accept this. For the children. You needn't focus on the amount, just what can be done with it.
You're right. I don't know how to show my appreciation. Thank you. Thank you all so very much. That's awesome.
Yes, that should settle that. Hey, what's this about going to Groundsel? Did something happen?
Punch.
Yes, the orphanage burned down, Clem. Did you not notice?
It's okay. There's no need to worry. You've all been through so much.
It's really not that big a deal. But why are you crying, matron?
Don't be silly, Clem. Those are happy tears.
After the matron and the children left to return to Minoria, Estelle and Joshua joined the other students in cleaning up after the festival. By the time everything was done, the day had given way to evening.
But we had everything set up for you to be able to stay. I mean, the festival just ended and everything. Sorry, but we can't. Since we're still apprentices, we can't go too long without checking in at the guild.
We'd like to give our report before the day's out if we can, so you'll have to excuse us.
Is that so? Well, guess I'm on my own tonight. Sure is going to be lonely in bed without you.
What?
And would you please give the tasteless jokes a rest? Estelle, don't listen to him. Nothing happened.
Oh, a joke. It's never boring with you guys, I'll give you that much. I hope you'll get the chance to come see us again.
And stay for a couple of days. Nights.
Sure. We will, thank you.
We'll stop in again soon.
Well, let's get going. We'll lose the daylight if we don't hurry. So you're headed to Minoria, Chloe? Yes. There's a lot I want to talk to the matron about. She said it would be alright for me to stay over at the inn with her and the kids tonight. I hate that you won't be here after the festival. Oh well, what can you do? Hope you have a good time.
Oh yeah, about the matron and the kids.
Isn't it kind of risky for them to be carrying around that much money? Don't common people often rob each other?
Oh, don't worry about that. One of the other braces escorted the whole lot of them back to their village. Her name's Kana.
Apparently the dean made a special request.
He never misses a beat. Well,
Stay healthy, you guys. Here's hoping you guys do great with your braces studies. Yeah, you can count on it.
Best of luck to both of you as well.
Wow. And then they left, suddenly as they had arrived. We only had a few days at the academy, but it was great fun. Well, other than class, anyway.
What are you talking about, Estelle? Normally students spend most of their time attending classes. The school festival might have been fun, but it was just a special event.
Yeah, you're right. Man, being a student is tougher than I thought.
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just I can't sense Sieg nearby. I wonder where he went. Maybe he's just looking for dinner. Yes. That may be it. I'm sorry, I'm just being silly. Please allow me to come with you as far as the coastal road. Sure, it'll be fun.
This probably seems like as good place as any to
Yeah,
finish
to
up, I
wrap
think.
up.
We got through the play. I wasn't sure if we would.
Yeah! Oh, hell yeah.
That
That was great.
was a good time.
Wow. So much to enjoy. Oh, that was really good.
Yeah. Oh, I enjoyed this a lot. And
I like how nobody knows what a madrigal is.
yeah, it doesn't really have anything to do with the play.
No.
Although, actually, one fun thing about the play, and that I only realised now, like playing it through the second time, all of the backdrops are actual places in Grand Cell that will turn up later,
Oh, nice.
which is quite cool.
That is quite fun. Well, I can't promise that the next time we stream will be as much am-dram content as
Sadly
that.
not.
But yeah, I guess we're not sure when exactly we will be back with more because obviously things are a bit kind of dependent on when we're free. But hopefully it won't be too long before we're streaming again.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks for joining. We have a YouTube if you want to
We do.
catch up on anything in between.
Yep. And all of the streams go up there when they do happen.
All right. Well, I guess we'll say goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.